The Banshee is most often described as an ethereal, feminine figure with silver hair, clad in flowing white or gray garments, sometimes surrounded by a faint, misty aura. Her eyes are often depicted as bloodshot from endless weeping, brimming with centuries of grief. But the most haunting part of her image is the eerie, piercing wail, an unearthly cry that soars beyond the range of any human voice. This lament is most often heard at night, heralding an approaching death. It was once believed that every noble family in Ireland had its own Banshee. This spirit followed the family for generations, appearing when one of its members was soon to die. In this way, she became an integral part of the family's identity, a living emblem of tradition and a bridge between the worlds of the living and the dead. The Fomorians were an ancient and fearsome race of giants who plagued the people of Ireland for centuries. They come from the earliest layers of Celtic legend, where they appear as terrifying wild beings with twisted bodies and a menacing presence. Some accounts give them hybrid features, blending human and animal traits: wolfish jaws, bull's horns, fish scales, or serpent-like eyes. According to mythology, the Fomorians were among the first races to settle the Emerald Isle, emerging from the depths of the sea or arriving from distant, unknown lands. They dwelled in damp coastal caves, mist-covered bogs, and isolated rocky islands. In many tales, they demanded cruel tributes from conquered peoples. Though usually portrayed as savage raiders, they were not without order. They had their own kings, hierarchy, and warriors. The mightiest of all Fomorian rulers was Balor, the embodiment of destruction, darkness, and ruthless tyranny. Known as Balor of the Evil Eye, he possessed a deadly gaze of terrifying power. Central to his legend was a prophecy foretelling that he would be killed by his own grandson, a fate that, in the end, came true. Nighe is best known for washing the blood-stained clothes of those who are soon to die. She appears alone, most often at dusk or just before dawn, by the banks of streams or mountain rivers. She is sometimes described as a bent, withered crone with sunken eyes and long, bony hands. In other accounts, she appears as a slender, ethereal woman with delicate features and pale skin. Those who stumble upon her might see her silently washing and wringing out cloth, whispering indistinct words under her breath. According to tradition, she may answer questions about the onlooker's fate if one can gain her attention and persuade her to speak. Some tales tell of the bold who snatched the fabric from her hands, thereby altering someone's destiny. But such an act carried great peril. Any attempt to trick Nighe could bring down a curse far worse than the foretold death. Many consider her a local form of the Banshee, though unlike her wailing cousin, she works in silence, washing the garments of fate with grim determination. Cailleach is one of the most ancient beings in Celtic mythology, embodying the harshness of winter, icy winds, and the unforgiving side of nature. In most stories, she appears as an old, hunched woman with weathered skin and long gray hair swirling about her in the wind. Draped in a cloak of furs or thick wool, she seems inseparable from the wild, untamed landscapes around her. Her staff is a potent tool with which she shapes the land and summons blizzards, asserting her dominion over nature. As the Queen of Winter, she brings frosts and snows that halt the cycles of life, locking the earth in a frozen stillness. With her arrival, the land falls silent, plants sleep, and animals retreat into deep slumber. Yet, for all her severity, Cailleach is not merely a destroyer. She shapes the very landscapes, moving great stones, raising mountains, and carving riverbeds. Cat Sith is a large black cat with a distinctive white spot on its chest, said to have the power to steal the souls of the recently dead. In folklore, it appears mainly at night or during festivals of the dead, when the veil between the worlds grows thin. In parts of Scotland, people once held Féil Fadalach, a wake by the body of the deceased to keep Cat Sith from claiming the soul before proper burial rites could be performed. During the Celtic festival of Samhain, later transformed into Halloween, it was believed the creature roamed villages and farms in search of prey. Families who left out a bowl of milk could expect its favor. Those who neglected the offering risked a curse. Some accounts describe Cat Sith as a witch able to transform into a cat 9 times. Upon the 9th change, she would be trapped in feline form forever. The Dullahan is a chilling, headless rider who roams the land on a black, demonic steed. In one hand, he wields a whip made from human spines. In the other, he carries his own head. This grotesque skull serves as a macabre lantern, casting a ghastly light on the path ahead. In some versions of the legend, the Dullahan rides a black coach adorned with skulls and lit by candles made from human fat. Its wheels are woven from human bones, and its approach strikes terror into all who see it. Folklore warns against looking directly at him, as it can lead to blindness or even instant death. He most often appears on lonely roads, graveyards, or near houses, acting as a herald of death. When he stops before a home, it means someone inside will soon die. In a cold, emotionless voice, he speaks the victim's name, sealing their fate. The only known defense against this terrifying figure is gold. Even the smallest piece is enough to drive him away. One of the most dangerous and deceptive creatures of Celtic lore, the Kelpie lures people with its striking beauty and magical allure. It most often takes the form of a shimmering, otherworldly horse. Highly intelligent and cunning, the Kelpie tempts travelers to mount it. Once astride, the victim becomes stuck fast, and the creature plunges into deep waters, drowning its rider. Kelpies can also shift into more human-like forms, sometimes even appearing as ordinary people. In some tales, they retain their hooves in human form, linking them to the Christian image of the devil. Today, the Kelpie continues to inspire literature and art. In Falkirk, Scotland, 2 massive 30-meter steel sculptures stand in their honor. The Leanan Sidhe is a spectral muse of Celtic legend, an enchantress of breathtaking beauty with an otherworldly aura. Her eyes are hypnotic, and in different tales, her hair glows red, black, or silver. Often called the Dark Muse, she offers chosen artists, poets, musicians, painters, divine inspiration. She tempts them with promises of glory and immortality in memory. Under her influence, they create works of genius, but at a terrible price. The Leanan Sidhe feeds on the life force of her lovers. Each masterpiece drains more of their vitality, driving them toward an early grave. Like a sweet-tasting poison, she grants undying fame while consuming the very life of her chosen. The Nuckelavee, in its most horrifying form, is a grotesque fusion of rider and horse, merged into a single, skinless monstrosity. Its arrival brings disaster and misery. Silent rather than loud, it approaches in dreadful stillness. The only warning, a steadily growing stench of decay on the wind. When it attacks, it strikes with a powerful arm or crushes victims beneath its hooves. According to legend, the Nuckelavee cannot cross rivers, for it fears water. Wise travelers in far-off lands would follow river paths as a natural defense against the demon. The Puca is one of the most unpredictable and mysterious beings in Celtic folklore, able to take on many forms depending on where it appears. Most often, it appears as a black horse with a gleaming coat and fiery eyes, but it may also take the shape of a horned humanoid goat, a huge cat-like creature, or even a rabbit with glowing yellow eyes. The Puca is known for its dual nature. It can be a helpful guide warning people of danger, or a mischievous trickster leading victims into chaos. In horse form, it is infamous for whisking unsuspecting riders away on a wild, terrifying journey, abandoning them in strange and distant places. Yet, at times, it offers kindness, advice, warnings, or guidance to lost travelers. The questing beast is a legendary creature from Arthurian myth, marked by its strange blend of animal traits. The head and neck of a serpent, the body of a leopard, the haunches of a lion, and the hooves of a deer. but its most distinctive feature is the sound it makes, a deep, relentless barking, as if from dozens of hounds at full chase, echoing from within its body. In Arthurian tales, it is the subject of endless, fruitless hunts. Pursuing it symbolizes an eternal search for the unattainable. The beast never rests, roaming ceaselessly over moors, forests, and hills. It shuns direct confrontation, retreating with impossible agility and leaving behind only the haunting echo of its barking. The Sluagh, often called the host of the unforgiven, are ghostly, bodiless entities from Irish and Scottish Celtic lore. They are usually depicted as dark, shapeless flocks, like swarms of crows sweeping across the night sky. In folk belief, they are the damned, souls too corrupt and unclean to find peace in the afterlife. Their arrival is heralded by a cold, unsettling wind from the west, the direction from which the souls of outcasts and sinners were believed to come. As they near human dwellings, sinister whispers drift through the air, and an oppressive dread takes hold. Those unfortunate enough to encounter the Sluagh speak of bone-deep cold and an all-consuming silence that chokes every cry before it leaves the throat. Some believe they can seize the souls of the dying, adding them to their eternal, shadowy procession.